And we are back. So some of you that caught the little tips and strategies video that I put out before I made this part, but in case some of you that didn't see it or kind of missed that video, well, in part four, I should have discussed a little bit. Maybe back in part three, I should have mentioned the affection points aren't as easy as they might come by. And I was a little bit right on that. For instance, Slavia and Oyana, who I kind of pronounced the other way around, I thought is Yolana. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. Those two kind of share affection points. And depending on whose route you want to get, that's the one that said I had like the. I thought she had like a Brillo pad for kind of hair, the short one, and then the blonde, Slavia. Lena and Alyssa kind of correspond with those two. So it's like, depending on who you want to get with, like, you want to make sure that person's points are higher than the other person you're going for. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But I also mentioned, though, in that video that I'm going to show you something I did in my save files. Okay. I went back to this save. I'll show you guys just a quick minute here. Show you what I did. I actually went with the first time that I played this, in case some of you that are new to this and you missed the first part. I originally went with Yes, I'll Come With You. This is him actually dreaming. I didn't realize that at the time. So I reloaded my save, went all the way back to where you guys saw, and I chose the other option. Now, this really has no significance except for two different heroines that you unlock after you complete like certain people's routes. That has to do with Miku and another girl that you'll meet later. So either way, the scene plays out pretty much similarly, and you still end up in this place anyway. So let me reload my file again. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to one save previously, because I'm curious if this scene plays out a little different. Because the last time I said about getting points, and I said do not attempt to take the cutlet. Well, this time we're actually going to attempt to take the cutlet. I'm curious if the scene will play out the same. If it doesn't, I will do some skipping and then go from there. Alright, so yeah, because I'm curious if this scene plays out a little bit different if you attempt to take it. So if that bug ends up in your plate or not. If it does, if the scene is kind of similar and you end up going back with to that dark place where I showed you, I would just skip it. If it's a little different, I would show the scene entirely. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's attempt to take. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach out my hand. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to get the affection points to only be for Slavia. So this way, things are a little bit less confusing. Because apparently, someone on Twitter, I guess, apparently has played this game twice. And they haven't played it for a while. But apparently the routes that they kind of went for is this girl right here in front of me. And then they also did Lena's route. But they said that that's pretty much how they played it. I don't know. They were saying you don't have to just get every girl a point or anything like that. If you want the easy way to get to the girl, just make sure you get points for that girl's affection only, and then just focusing them on one. It's a little bit hard because, like, that's the only thing that he said, that the Sky or whatever said, that the downside is it's a little tedious because you're coming back into these scenes quite often and repeating the process. Well, if it happens to do that, I'll be doing some skipping anyway. So most of what you guys are seeing throughout, at least you won't have to do that. By the time I go for other girls' routes, I'm not going to show entirely everything you guys saw there, including the early portion of the common route in the first day. That's pretty pointless, as I always say. So enough of me rambling, and let's get on with it. I was about to reach out my hand. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Yolanda's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy. We'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. And she does it anyway. So And there's no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. Okay, that's all I pretty much wanted to see. And I want to see if this bug ends up in his plate. So that's what we're going to... Yeah, it does. So we're going to skip a little bit past that. And he chases her out anyway. So... but I only kind of wanted to do that to kind of get back to where I was previously. So obviously, there's a few different dialogue choices that I kind of see that plays out a little different. Standing before me. Okay. Yeah. Pretty much same conversation. So, and you guys saw that the last time. So that's kind of funny. Okay, so this is where I'm going to resave now. Okay, and I'm gonna overwrite this file that I had the last time, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, so now we are back to where we are, and everything should be good to go. Okay, and I did write down every single girl compared to when I first played the game. I actually have everybody's route now, so I'm much more prepared for everybody, including the bonus characters of Miku and the other girl. But I'm not going to get them until much later. I sat down on a chair and immediately waiting for my saving. Nice little CG, I gotta say. My dinner was simple: a few buns and a glass of kefir. She's pretty, I gotta say. Got some long hair, nice blue eyes. I don't know. No wonder. I bet hungry pioneers finished everything off. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavya sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Is there something on my face? No, just smile. So, how did you like your first day in the camp? Well, I don't really know. And because this girl kind of has a Russian name, I try to give her, usually when it comes to people from the Ukraine, UK, I try to give them a slight accent. I'm not really the greatest at that, so, yeah. But, it's decent, You guys would sound much better at it. Although some of you guys, if you guys are in the UK, you guys trying to sound like an American would probably be a little harder for you guys to be trying to sound like you guys. But it kind of goes back. It kind of goes both ways, I would say. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. Although there's some people out there, like English, I'm talking about people that voice English voice actors. Like, there's some, you guys probably heard certain animes, right, where you'll get a character that supposedly has, like, a Ukraine accent or something like that, but you could tell, like, if you're from one of those countries, you could tell their accent is more acted, but some people are actually pretty good, at least trying to mimic it. I could only do it, pretty average in a way. It's alright. You'll soon get used to it. Slavya stared out the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I had to somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So how? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely, yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yeah. I love it here. It's great. worry about what other people think.
Well, I don't really worry.
Slavia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to.
And you worried yourself.
Really? Why do you say so?
Well, when someone is chewing so intently.
I'm sorry. What exactly were you? Oh, like, okay, so this guy's eating, talking at the same time. Is that the deal here?
That's okay.
I could bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any other local? She's probably just being nice. That's my guess. Or maybe that first choice got you more closer. It's like, hey, here, we made one choice, and automatically this girl has an interest. Is that working one day? I don't think so, but this visual novel says otherwise. Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal, so normal it sends chills down my spine and into my marrow. Normal, not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like the passenger you can often meet in the subway or on public transport. Not like a co-worker at the next table in an open plain office. Okay, guy, I think I get your drift of what you're saying here. Not even like a friend who only differs from one human's in his constant insistence. All of them look normal, as I would expect them to be, with their own downsides but without any superpowers. And Slavia was also cute. Gorgeous, I would say. I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say.
I'm sorry. I wanted to show you the cup, but it's right off my feet.
I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess.
Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all?
She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here.
Okay, and what have you seen so far?
I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field.
And what about the beach?
Just from afar. I don't know if her thing has to do with the beach. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But yeah. Because I wrote all these, like I said, down in advance. But from what I understand, there is no going to the beach with her. Now, whether or not you get to a beach on their own, that remains to be seen. But when going for her route, apparently she does not have something that has anything to do with the beach. You would think, because in part 2, as I mentioned, or one of the parts, when she was in a bikini, but I guess that doesn't really make a difference sometimes.
You really should go there. Well, let's do it together.
Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange only to me, while for them it is normal. Maybe I was thrown into the past. Yes, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question?
No.
Wow. Slavia smiled and stood up from the table. Wow, that was a nice little comment.
It's late. Can you find a way to Olga Dmitrievna's by yourself?
Of course I can, but why should I go there?
She'll settle you with someone.
What for? Probably this question seems stupid because Slavia bursts into good-natured laughter.
You need to sleep somewhere, right?
That makes sense. What's with this reaction? It's like, are you a little bit blushing? You'd be the type to crawl in his bed. Wow, I don't think that would be the case, but that'd be kind of funny if that happened. She had a kind of a different look that she kind of showed there, which was kind of interesting.
Fine, I'll be off then. Good night.
Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys left in the door lock caught my attention. I think the keys has to do with Miku, so we're not going to take these as far as I'm aware. I have to make sure we don't. But it doesn't really mention anything about that. I was going to catch up to Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't sound like a bright idea. Probably not. Take the keys. Let me make a save here first, because we're not going to do that, I think. Because I do believe that has to do with Miku. I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. Okay, yes, and I'm actually looking at that. Take the keys. No. And what's it's interesting is the guide says, not that I would be getting Miku's route anyway, because I haven't completed any girls' route, the main ones anyway, so I couldn't do hers. So taking this key would probably just give me a bad choice and probably lead to a game over kind of thing. So we are going to leave the keys for now. On the other hand, why would I need them? The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the songs of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. But maybe I will include Miku. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make two saves on that. I'm going to make two saves. Just see what kind of happens here. Okay, we're going to overwrite this file. I'm going to overwrite that one. Okay, we're going to go back. Like I said, I'm getting used to the way this is done. Where the hell am I at? Okay, here it is. All right, so reload. Boy, like I said, it gets a little confusing trying to figure out what keys is what. I'm curious if you at least, if Miku at least shows up if you take these keys. So I'm only going to do this once to see what happens. I better take them. I'll get them back tomorrow because who knows what happens here at night. Such thoughts gave me chills. It's me who needs to be careful here in the first place. Because it's surprising they don't have that for Slavya. It's like, they only one thing happens with her, and it's less you just reply to her. There's only one thing you do in her in the first part. Well, a lot of people's kind of like that. I've kind of noticed. Uh, you know, Everybody has at least one thing that they get in day one, but once you go to the other days, it kind of changes a little bit. The night through dark. But I don't think this is going to lead to Miku anyway, so I'm going to just go back and reload that other save. Some of you guys are probably like, what is he doing? I don't know. I don't know either, but I just made that other save file anyway. If I did it right. And it's everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavya's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I mean, I would take those keys, but apparently, it's not like I could get on her route anyway. So it would. I thought, I figured I'll just go back and just reload the other save and just make the other choice once, when I can do at least complete one of these girls' routes. If I decide to do Miku, but I might probably just save her anyway. It's gonna be a while before I decide to do her anyway. Yeah. So, because if she's locked anyway, like the other girl, it's kind of pointless to even take them. It's not really gonna lead to anything. Sudden desire to. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of communism put me in a constructive mood. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here was much brighter than near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Bus summer camp girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that I could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in that direction. A girl, okay, reading a book. They do believe this is going to be Luna. Luna, yeah. This is supposedly the kind of somewhat shy, introverted girl. I'm not really the best at trying to give characters like this a girly kind of voice, but, I could try to see if I can give her somewhat of a soft voice, but we'll see about it. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Yeah, pretty much. Hi, what are you reading? Yeah, that's a way to get this girl's attention. Look at that. Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. My goodness. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
Never mind.
She blushed and stared at the book again. So, what are you reading? The cover was written Gone with the Wind. there a movie by that name? And probably a book too? I'm pretty sure there is. I might have seen it maybe when I was a kid, a long time ago, but I forget the movie though. And that's a choice. Well, obviously, since she will be around eventually, we're gonna make a save of you right here. We're gonna make a save of you right here. But for now, we are not gonna praise the book because that is a choice that gives her a point. So we're gonna keep silent. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you,
No.
she answered while still looking at the book. Should I sit beside you for a while?
Why?
Oh, really? Why? My goodness, all that to sit down? I mean, where exactly? I mean, you're kind of moving a little bit fast for this character, evidently, or this girl, I should say. Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. And maybe I wanted to try to find something out about from her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Come on, phone! Phone! Jeez. There goes my damn recording software again. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to.
You're free.
But if I'm bothering you,
You're not.
I could leave. Just say, boy, oh boy.
Everything's alright.
Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it would be nice to just stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool out of myself. Well, this girl's obviously shy, a little introverted, I guess. I bet if Uliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. And again, I mentioned beforehand, this is actually the way her name was spelled. I was saying it the other way around. I kept saying Yolana. I don't know. You guys tell me which sounds better, Uliana or Yolana. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really make a difference to me. You enjoy being here? I recalled the Slavya's question and thought it would be a good start for a conversation.
Yeah.
She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavia. But there was something about her that attracted attention. She's kind of cute in a certain way, certainly. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in the glass on a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness, searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. But I mentioned previously how these characters all kind of have like an indie kind of drawing to them. Like, I don't know, their looks are all a little bit different than what you normally see in most visual novels like this. You guys kind of know what I'm talking about, where yeah, you get the clandid art style, or even Kato Shoujo has like kind of like that. Although I would say that this has kind of a similar drawing to that, a little different though. And it's mostly down to their hair. It's like, especially Uliana, you know, the way her hair is kind of, I don't know, it's all kind of interesting, you know. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it still felt so tempting. I think it's kind of refreshing that you, once in a while, a developer will try to at least try not to imitate so many other, companies out there that kind of have similar drawings or something like that, or use similar art style. And here they're at least using something simple. Even if like the hair is kind of like you're not exactly sure how to make them out, at least the characters have something, some sort of identity to them. Lena was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence, and I had no intention of asking her about this camp or this world in general. Beautiful night. This world? What do you mean, this world? Did you get sucked into your own dream? Are you just dreaming this the entire time? Or is this more like... I'm curious because they mentioned about him being a grown man and somehow he gets reverted back to 18. I'm curious how that goes.
Yeah.
How in the world would you start a conversation with him? Because I kind of noticed that many times that they mentioned, the protagonist, mentioned about this world, and then he said something here again. That's interesting. It's late. I have to go. Did Hatsune Miku put a spell on him and he's transported here? No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, they don't call her Hatsune in this game, but still, the fact that she kind of resembles Miku in that way, and they call her Miku, yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's late. I have to go.
Yeah, it's quite late. Uh,
Good night.
Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Luna took its own place in a massive list of mysteries about this camp which I had started to put together in my head. Really? A lazy evening. There's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed towards Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. The light in the house was on.
Hello, Semyon. You're quite late.
Yeah. I went for a walk to look around the camp.
Alright. You would be sleeping here.
She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was a bit surprised. Was it pretty obvious? I see two beds. Is it like, is one bed for him and the other one is for somebody else to be on? I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. Kind of looks like this could easily be like I had I don't know, not like this. My room anyway didn't have like this top part where it looks like the roof of your house. But it's kind of interesting though. But I had a similar room kind of like that though, a little bit. When I was years ago.
Yeah, there's something wrong. We are out of free cabins anyway.
The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of politeness.
You do want to be a decent pioneer, do you?
There was a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yep, sure. I was also in thought for a moment. Don't you mind, mademoiselle? What? I probably didn't even say that right. Isn't that like a French word? I don't know. He looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offensiveness.
A pioneer should respect their elders.
Olga Dmitrievna said strictly. Of course he should. No one argues with that. Blather, not realizing what was wrong.
Shouldn't you also?
She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even Mithril, forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would know. My goodness, where did that comment come from? What are you thinking about? That hit yours. I have no idea where that came from, but you obviously said something to her that didn't really, she wasn't too thrilled about. I don't know. Should I what? What's up, Toots? What? You're flirting? How? You were just back there. We've been making progress. What are you doing, Sex? Please don't tell me we're getting on a bad route. I don't know. Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. Good Lord.
You must address adults appropriately.
Yes, of course, there are a lot of strange things here. My goodness. He didn't even think twice about flirting with this girl, and then here you got the blonde. He was too. He wasn't man enough to come out of that shell for that one. I don't know. He was. He scratched his head with the other one. I was actually enjoying the conversation with her in it the last time, and then he had a little bit of a conversation with the last girl you kind of saw, and then here we get this. But this girl is just a couple years older than me. How many years you talking? I mean, well, yeah, obviously, but if you reverted back to a certain age, she's obviously going to be older than you, right? Or maybe even younger. No, I'm pretty sure she's older. She would be a camp leader. But I decided not to argue. Just a few minutes ago, I would never have called her an adult. I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. And in any case, I wasn't in a position to argue. But then again, they are in a summer camp, and it's kind of hard to say. So, as you say, man, I'm old.
That's much better. That is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep.
Honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor an indecent pioneer. My goodness. Just yesterday, I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. Somehow you do anyway, but do I have a choice now? Wow, whether you follow that dream, like I mentioned at the beginning, or you did, you said yes or no to it, you still end up in this place. It's kind of funny. If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrieva was probably going to use. That's funny. I climbed onto the bed and closed my eyes only to realize how tired I was after today. And is this going to be a day or going to be the whole day? Something hammered in my bed awfully as if my brains had started a night shift. They seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. Hmm. The bus flew through my mind, and I'm pretty sure he's dreaming here because it's like you see the screen is kind of a little bit fuzzy. Yeah. And the square with the monument. I'm hoping, I have no idea how this is going to go. So he's pretty much having flashback of everything that pretty much happened here. That's kind of interesting. So how did he actually dream it the first time around? Did he actually come here and he didn't actually realize that? I don't know. Canteen full of pioneers. And a malicious face of Ilyana. Wow. Damn. Slavya. Yeah, we all remember the one there. Are you getting a little hard and horny in your pants there? That dream. I don't know. If this image came to my mind, what would you guys do? I don't know. I have to go for it. Oh no. Lena. For some reason, we didn't meet anybody else. Well, we actually no, we did meet four of them, so I can't really say too much on that. And even recalling Alyssa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. So technically, the only one we didn't see was Miku in the first part. What if I'm here for good? Wow, it looks like that's going to be the case, isn't it? Day 2. Pretty interesting. After having, like, after having, well, this is actually the fourth part. It's like, oh, so now it's like actually the next day. So, like, how did it take you 4 parts to get to that? I don't know, because it's a recording and, you got to do a lot of reading when it comes to these type of games, visual novels, that is. You eventually get there. Yeah. But also because my recording software only lets me record up to like I don't know, so long, and then when it cuts off, part of the video actually doesn't get, for some reason, doesn't edit in there, and then you'll miss part of the video. So it's like, but so it's getting pretty interesting, guys. Yeah, make a quick save here. Where was I gonna put the save at? So we did not see Miku in the first part, even though they mentioned about her being a main heroine. If she was a main heroine, she would have showed up automatically. But yeah, so obviously somebody's route would probably have to be completed, as I mentioned in the tips and strategies guide that I did beforehand video that I made about this game here. And then also what I mentioned at the very beginning of this part anyway. Yeah, so there's some of you guys that missed that. Just watch both. Doesn't really make a difference. But I went back all the way through, as you guys kind of saw a little bit. So, okay. So if everything goes well, I may come back later during the night, or I may get to it the next night, depending on how I feel. So, yeah, it's coming along nicely. Until then, I will see you guys next time.